Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So while I'm in the filming mood, I decided to film this video. So if you guys don't know by now, I have my own salon. I'm going to film a separate video. I'm going to have the process. I don't know which one I'm going to post first, but I did film a process video. Actually, while I'm filming this video, I am still in the process of completing my salon, so it's not complete yet. But I am going to show the process, so you'll be able to see more of the salon in another video. And I am going to do a full salon tour, so you'll get to see like how I decorated the salon and where I like to put things and things like that. But in today's video, I decided to tell you guys about how I started my salon. So having a salon has been a dream of mine for years, and a few years ago I actually started a salon. Someone that I knew had, or that I acquainted with, had a barbershop, and there was like an empty space, and I ended up turning that little space into a salon. So the area was about the size of a salon suite, maybe a little bit bigger. So I was managing that, and that was my own little salon. It did not work out for me. I was very optimistic about it, like as far as me just saying, you know, like, oh my god, this is my salon, and being so happy about it, but it wasn't fully mine. And I know God wanted to give me something that was fully mine. Back then I didn't really see it at first. I was younger minded, wasn't too young, but I grew a lot since then. Now God blessed me with my own space. For about a year, since I came back down to New Jersey, because I was living in Ohio for a few years, I came back down to New Jersey, and as I worked many jobs. Well, not many jobs, I worked different jobs, and you know, I had many side hustles. And as my clientele had started to pick up, I was just deciding on, you know, once I move into an apartment and of my own, that I would use a part of the apartment to make a little mini salon. That's what I wanted to do. I thought that would be like very convenient and affordable. So as time has started to come to that, and I was, you know, I'm traveling to all my clients' homes. I'm getting tired of traveling and all of that. I decided, you know, like maybe I should start looking at salon suites. Now they have all those salon suites, and that were in like all the other states, because at first New Jersey never had any salon suites. Salon suites have been in New Jersey for a couple of years now, but I believe it's been a couple of years, maybe 2 years. Before they didn't have that. So I was like, you know, now they have salon suites. Let me see if I can find some that aren't too far from me, because they started putting it in other areas that I'm not that close to. So I did find two that weren't too far from me. It was one that was in Clark, or there is one that's in Clark, and then there's one that's in what is that? I can't remember the town. Woodbridge. I ended up going to look at the one in the area that I can't remember right now, that isn't too far from me. I ended up going there. I had set up an appointment with the person that owned, like the person that owns the franchise, but it's their salon. It's their Phoenix salon. And I need to get curtains up and everything so people can't see here. And it's gonna be a lot of noise because this is a busy area where I'm located. So yeah, I ended up going there after I scheduled an appointment with the person that has that location of Phoenix salon, because the Clark area, they were already full. So I was able to contact him. We were contacting or speaking to each other through email, and then I went to look there. But once I got there, there was no one there. It was actually being constructed. I did know that the guy said that it will be open in October of 2020, and it was July, maybe. It was like mid-July. So I went thinking that, because he said, you know, we could have this meeting at this time. So I went, and I didn't have my car at this time. I lost my car that I had previously, and then I had to travel by train. So I ended up going on the train and going there, and there was nobody there. The building was still being constructed, and I called him like, hey, I'm here. I'm like, you know, and then he's like, oh, I'm not there. And you know, it wasn't the best, but we did end up speaking on the phone. after I called him to let him know I was there, and he told me, you know, the price range and everything. So I was like, okay. And I do have clients that don't live far from that area, so I was like, you know what, this probably will work out, whatever. So boom, I put in, you don't have to do any application for that, at least for the waiting list, because he was just putting people on waiting lists. So I let him put me on the waiting list, and then I eventually pick the suite that I wanted, because they do have a layout of the suites and you can pick which one you want. So I picked the 2 that I desired. So I'm like, okay, that's cool, whatever, still doing my thing. Then I actually had a dream. So one night I had a dream, and I saw this salon, a like narrow salon. It was long and narrow. So it's, you know how some salons or some businesses, it's like, you know, wide, a lot of room or whatever. And in this, with this vision that I had, that through a dream, it was narrow. So it wasn't like that much space from where you walk in, and so wall to wall, it was like more on the narrow side. So I saw that. I had scheduled myself, I'll start looking online, or I was actually probably already looking online for small salons that fit the minimum of salons for New Jersey. So in order to pass your salon for state board, you need to have at least 350 square feet of salon space or office space. So I was looking for spaces like that, and I found about 3 that was about that size. So one that I found online, it was about 500 square feet. And then I found another that was 450 square feet. And then I found one that was almost exactly 350. It was 352 square feet online. I found all 3 of these online. So I contacted the first one that I saw, which was about 500 square feet. And that was in Montclair, New Jersey. So Montclair is like a higher end area where you have to be at least middle class to be in that area, to live and to have businesses. So middle to rich or upper class, or you need to have that type of lifestyle or to live in that type of area. So it's a little more pricey, and I'm not going to tell you guys how much that was, but it was more than the place that I chose because of, you know, it was a lot more. So I was like, you know what, that's a little bit expensive. It is like, and they actually had cut the price down about $500. So it made it more affordable, and I probably could have done that, but I was like, you know what, that's a little bit too much, you know, let me look somewhere else. So I scheduled myself to look at 2 more places, which were the last 2. One was, you know, one was the area that I am in right now, which is Elizabeth, New Jersey. And then the other was, it was, I can't even remember what time, but basically it was off of Summer Highway. So I went to the next one, which is actually the salon that I chose. I never ever saw the third one, because after I saw this one, I just knew that this was the one. I actually was still going to still just look at the other one, but when I saw this one, I just knew that it was it. I did have like a little doubts or whatever, kind of, no, but for, you know, just like things hitting you, like you can't believe something is happening. But I just knew that this was it. So I came here, we scheduled an appointment. The first time, for the first appointment, we weren't able to do it because the landlord wasn't able to meet up with me that day. So we scheduled a new day, and once I got here, whatever, I can just tell that he probably thought I was really young. He thought something, I can just tell. So it just came to me to just tell him that I'm not that young. So I just told him, you know, hey, I know I look pretty young, but I'm almost 30 years old. So he looked a little bit more happy once I told him that. He showed me the space. He actually took, well, he didn't show me the inside like thoroughly of the other place, and we discussed this before we came so he could know what he'll be showing me. So he had office space inside the main part of the building, and he also had storefronts available. So the storefront front was the size that I was looking for, 450 square feet, and I needed 350 square feet or more, so I was trying to go with the smallest one that I can get because, you know, I don't need that much space. It's just me right now. I am eventually going to hire people, but I don't want too much responsibility as a new business owner, and you know, I just want things to be settled. He had scheduled me to look at the 450 square feet. So, you know, once he starts telling me about things, I meet him or whatever. He did tell me that the other one, I can't remember how many square feet it is. It was a lot more than this that I went with though. But when I looked at this, it was just the perfect size. And I'm going to insert the before of how it was. It was just like perfect, and it was exactly, almost exactly like how I seen in my dream. So the space was narrow, so it's not a whole bunch of room from wall to wall like when you come in. The length is longer than the width, and that's what I saw in my dream. I saw a beauty salon that had like a pretty long way or whatever, a long path, and it had from wall to wall, it was like narrow. I just remember that was narrow and kind of long. And sorry about that, but when I show you guys the salon, you'll see it's not that much space from wall to wall, and it's not like a whole much going on as far as the layout of it. It's just a straight path, a straight long path. As far as, it's not super long because, you know, it's 450 square feet, but you know, it's just a straight path. You just go straight. The way that it's laid out is just straight, and then they have the bathroom, and of course I have like closets, but it's just a straight path. And I knew that was the salon, so we talked or whatever. After I told him about, you know, don't worry, you know, I'm not a kid. I didn't say it like that, but basically I was telling him, don't worry, I'm not a kid, I'm a woman. And I showed him that I was very seriously. I spoke well with him, and we were like on the same page. It was a little scary afterwards, but we were basically on the same page. So he discussed like what he was looking for. He saw that I was pretty firm in what I was looking for. He saw that price didn't scare me or anything like that. So he told me what he was expecting as far as the price and everything, and that it's going to be as is. So I checked out everything to see if I was willing to keep it, if I was willing to go with it, and if I liked it. And everything was pretty good. Like, I liked everything. The toilet is having some problems with it, so I'll be honest with you about that, but other than that, no problems. Like, and he's so respectful, he's so nice, like in a good way. And if I need any like help, like, you know, he's there. He's a pretty good landlord so far, so I really do like him. And the place was so clean, like it was just clean and white and bright inside. Like, the walls are a nice off-white color. It was just really bright inside. I do want to do the floors over though. The floors could be better looking, but the floors are decent enough for people to still come in right now. But yeah, it was just clean. I did need to do some renovations, as like not as far as how the space looked, but I had to install a sink, and you'll see that in the salon process. So yeah, a few days after I seen the place, we spoke through phone, text, and email. And he told me, you know, so he worked with me, and he told me that, you know, he could do the lease and everything. So he started to do up the lease. I read through it, agreed with it. So then once it was time for me to do everything, I got the money, everything for him, the cashier's check. We went up to the office, the main office, and I signed my lease. I wish I would have recorded that part, but I didn't. And I got my keys. And as soon as I got my keys and went outside, I opened up the door and it was just all mine. Yeah, it's been a while. Well, not a while. It's been a few weeks since that happened, and I am very pleased. I'm very happy. The only problem that I'm having, like I said, is like problems with the toilet, but it's going to be fixed today, hopefully. At least the person is coming in today to examine it to see, you know, what needs to be done. I'm very happy. I did get a good amount of things done so far. I still have a lot more to do. Like right now, I had so many packages come this week. I have to put up to set up my salon station, and then a few other things. And everybody just wants to look in here when they walk by. And this is another way that I knew that this salon was for me. Remember I said that the salon was narrow and long. So I just saw a beauty salon, like I've seen different things that were like from a beauty salon in that long, narrow path. And at the end of the path, I just saw my grandmother smiling. So my grandmother, she used to live in Elizabeth, and it's not far from where my grandmother used to live. And so that's another way that I knew that this salon was for me. So it not reminding me of my grandmother, but the area reminded me of my grandmother. She's still living. It reminded me of my grandmother because she used to live in this area, so I'm kind of familiar with certain parts of this area. And then the pathway, so I just knew that this was from God. This was the vision that I saw. So that is how I knew that the salon was for me, and that it was time for me to open a salon, and how I started my salon. Or, you know, not how I got everything together. And I'll probably do another video about that in a few months, about like how I paid for everything and stuff like that. But this is how I knew that this salon was for me, and this is how I was able to have a salon. And, you know, I'm just so grateful that, you know, he liked me, he approved of me and decided to pick me, and that God had favor on my life. So yeah, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video, and that it was an encouragement to you if you are looking to start your own salon, or you're looking for any type of business, fashion, makeup, or any type of business. You're an entrepreneur, or you want to become one. I hope that this was inspiring to you. Look out for additional videos about my journey. And don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. Don't forget to leave a comment. And don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, okay? I'll see you in my next video.